Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I would like to share with you a little bit of an update, what's been going on in my life, training-wise, fitness-wise, mentally, an overview of my goals for 2023 that I'm aiming at, a little bit of an update on partnerships for the channel, so let's go. So let's give you guys a little update of what's been going on. First off, I would like to share with you something that I'm really happy about. It doesn't really mean much, but I managed to sneak into AWA Bronze, All-World Athlete Bronze ranking last year, only with one race. So All-World Athlete isn't a hard thing to do. I mean, it's a bit like a point system, so it's not really like something that says you're good. Basically, I think if you just do IRONMAN and a 70.3, you will sneak into that ranking system. But in my eyes, it means a lot because I managed to do it just with one race. When I did my first 70.3, I literally had no clue about what all-world athlete was. But when I got to the race, I kind of like realized that these guys with different colored swim caps, they were kind of like on another level or something like that. So I remember in the swim, I thought, oh, I need to draft and follow those guys who have those swim caps because they're like hot stuff. So I'm pretty stoked about that, to be honest. AWA Bronze with one race only. That's the biggest thing I'm stoked about from 2022. Now I will give you an update with the past months of training and the current training, but first I would like to share with you, of course, my goal, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So I usually don't share this stuff, but I mean, I'm already signed up, so I might as well just share it. My main goal for this year, and basically the only goal I have at this point, is participating in Ironman Hamburg on the 4th of June. That is basically the only thing I have on the calendar because it is my main focus. What I'm going to try and do is to work on what I've built in the past years, on the past results, on the fact that I already have some experience on the specificity of this event, and I'm going to try and give it my absolute all. Even in the past Ironman, I could have done more, so that's what I'm going to try and do. For that reason, at the moment, I've been training pretty solidly, to be honest. I've been doing like October, November and December of really solid bike, even really long bikes and running. I did some trail runs. I did a lot of intensity on the run, especially, which is something that I usually never do. I had been doing quite a bit of that. It was all going really good, actually. I was still pretty fit. The only thing that happened is on the like 7th of January, I was out trail running on a long Sunday trail run and I sprained my ankle like really badly, incredibly badly. It was since my skateboarding days that I didn't sprain my ankle that bad. It was like extremely swollen, it was huge. So that definitely put a dent in the preparation. I think the ankle is healed, but I'm still like being kind of cautious because it was really in bad shape. Like I had to wear crutches and a boot for a couple of weeks. So that's not great. But I still have been training to the best of my ability, especially on, of course, the bike and with some strength training. So I still haven't been swimming because right now the pool situation here is a bit crazy, but I will very soon have to get back in the pool. But I've been substituting every swim with strength, every run with strength, like core stability, upper body for swimming and lower body like squats for running, high rep squats, single-legged squats. It is really hardcore as preparation. Like I can feel the legs really working. Even though there's no impact, I can feel them really work. But on the bike, I've been training really quite a lot. Last week, I did something like 16 hours, 17 hours of total training. And the other thing I would like to share with you guys is that this year, I am getting some help with the preparation. So I believe I have basically done all that I can as a self-coached athlete. And what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to have a training guide in the form of the Motive app. So the My Motive app is an app for training that is made by Triathlon Taran, who is, in my opinion, one of the people who have helped me the most in this journey because the sheer volume of videos that he's made about everything triathlon, about triathlon training, are absolutely so much stuff. There's such a wealth of knowledge. And we chatted about Motive. I was already looking at Motive as something to use as a guide because it has a varied preparation. It can prepare you for a whole lot of different events. And I realized that doing it myself, the biggest problem was overdoing it. It wasn't training too little, it was training too much and compressing stuff and not recovering. So this year I am using the Motive app to prepare for this event. Of course, I'm always up to like changing stuff around and modifying stuff, but I'm using it as a solid training guide. And to be honest, it's really nice having structured workouts and having this guide that gives you like on the various days, different things you do, and it's always progressive. I really like it so far. So I'm going to be using the Motive app as my guide going into Hamburg. So specifically talking about Motive and training, I would like to show you one day in the life. So the last Saturday, which was basically the long ride day. Right now we are 15 weeks out of the event. So day in the life, currently it starts off with just waking up. It's a long ride day, so I'm not going to do anything else apart from a very simple exercise and technique that I use to just wake up without really using coffee, and that is a plank with some fire breath. So there is this discipline of yoga called pranayama, which means basically controlling your breath. And the single most powerful exercise that I found from pranayama and adapted and translated to my like daily routine is fire breath. Fire breath means you push air out of your nose, starting from below your belly button. You just contract and you focus on pushing out the air at a really high rate. And this really just wakes me up instantly. I'll just do like a minute of that, 2 minutes of that with plank, like a lower plank, and I'll just be awake. Then after waking up, what I'm doing right now is I'm not really going super hard on the carbs, especially on days where there's like long rides, because at the moment I'm trying to focus on being like more an efficient fat burner. That's the most important thing I believe that I can work on. So what I did is I ate a breakfast high in protein. So I had a protein powder with these amazing cereals from Koro that are basically made from soy, and they're like Cocoa Pops, but they're super high protein. So I ate that, then I worked a little bit, waited for the food to settle to digest, and then I went out on this ride. Was 4 hours and 40 minutes. The bike that I've been using is my new Specialized Crux. It's basically a road bike with chunky tires, or you can call it a gravel bike, whatever you want to call it. It is an amazing training tool. It is amazing because it allows you to go both on road and on gravel without sacrificing any performance on either of them. So it's really cool to like go out 4 hours and a half, and it's not like only road. You can just venture off anywhere basically. And the biggest upgrade that I've made recently was I added a power meter to the Crux. And this is absolutely amazing for opening up so many possibilities for training. For instance, today I did a 4 hour and 15-minute ride. I did just some basic roads and climbs that I always do. But then during the moments where I could, I would just go off on these like dirt roads that connect other different roads. And it is so nice just to be outside, ride. It's fairly warm now in Italy, so it's really enjoyable. And it's made even more enjoyable because I can ride off-road. Then I performed the intervals, so 8 times 5 minutes at race power, and then just some zone 2 stuff. And that is basically the ride. During the ride, I ate some carbs, but not much. Definitely not 100 grams of carbs per hour. I wouldn't say even half of that. And to be honest, I felt really good up until almost the end. I think I kind of bonked a bit, but it's not something that I view as negative. I view it as positive because for 2023, I'm using Super Sapiens glucose monitors again. So I'm super happy about this. I really believe in this technology a lot. It is absolutely amazing. So using Super Sapiens on this ride and having bonked like in the last 10-15 minutes, I can basically kind of like maybe work out a little bit how much glycogen I have, or at least what intensity I can sustain without eating much, and seeing basically where my resources finish. Then after the ride, I had another kind of like high protein meal, and this meal actually started with a little hack, like a recipe that I invented. This is mostly for the European guys watching, but it's like chestnut jam, which is absolutely amazing. So it's a very high carb, low fiber food mixed in with some protein powder, some chocolate protein powder. I think you could do it with vanilla also. Basically, it becomes like as good as Nutella, but with 0 fats, only protein and carbs. The carbs are gonna shoot straight back into the muscles, and the protein is gonna go and repair all the muscle damage. And I mean, try it out, it's so good. That was followed just by rice, veggies, another protein source. But yeah, just very basic stuff. Another thing that I would really like to share with you guys, and that I've been doing really consistently, is going to bed really early. I try and eat around, I'm not kidding, like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and to be in bed by like 9:30. And this is something that just really helps with recovery so much, especially in these first phases where it's not like off season, but it's starting to build back up again, like quite a bit actually. Also, the intensity is kind of like bit higher than what is a normal like high volume thing where the intensity is lower. Now we're still doing intervals, we're still doing that kind of stuff. So recovery is the #1 thing that I'm focusing on right now, way more than the other times. I mean, during the last build, I did a lot of recovery, kind of like inadvertently, because I didn't have any energy to do anything else. But this time I'm being really mindful of it and being really careful of letting my body rest and recover. So going to bed really early, I believe, is really helping a lot with absorbing the training. So training wise, just to give you a little bit of an update, like with specific numbers, I'm gonna open up Training Peaks right now. As you can see, we have the stuff from Motive that gets sent to Training Peaks. For instance, today was an interval ride named Tearing Up the Road, and it was basically a reverse pyramid. So from 5 minutes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. at above 295 watts, which is a bit more than FTP effort actually, with 1 minute recovery between the sets. So that was a pretty brutal workout. I think last week was similar. I think I paced it badly last week and I cracked, but this week I think maybe I was more rested and I think I paced it better. So it was brutal, but managed to get it done. And another thing that I would like to show you is last week we did 16 hours and 13 minutes. The week before was 11 hours. The week before was 16 hours and 48 minutes. Week before 10 hours. Week before 2 hours and 35, and this is when I injured my ankle. I still couldn't train. The week before was 0 hours. I literally could not walk. I was on crutches, so I didn't manage to do anything. But the week before was 9 hours. Then the week before 15 hours. I've been training quite a lot, to be honest. And for this reason, I would like to show you. Right now we are at a CTL, so fitness score of 80. Today is 80. And this right now is like the starting point for the IRONMAN build. This is the starting point because I'm gonna be, I think, able to resume running next week. I would like to compare and show you guys this year compared to last year. So when I started the build, what my fitness level was when I started the build for Tallinn. The build started, we'll say May, so the 7th of May, let's say, and was 49. So my fitness score last year, starting for Tallinn, was 49. And my FTP was around, I think it was 255 watts, 260 watts, which was basically 3.4 watts per kilo. It was pretty low because I was coming back from injury. Compare that to right now. So today, which is a fitness score of 80, basically already 30 points more, but especially my FTP is dramatically different. So my FTP right now is 280 watts, around 3.7 watts per kilo, maybe a little bit more, which was kind of like the value that I arrived at Tallinn. I think it might have been even a little bit less when I raced in Tallinn. So basically right now, going into the build, I should be starting from kind of like I would say a okay spot. So I think I will be building and hopefully be able to progress more on some solid fitness compared to last year, where I was coming back from injury and it wasn't really great. So even this time I'm coming back from injury, but it's a different type of injury. It's like I sprained my ankle, so it's not something from overuse. So hopefully it should all be okay if I just like rested. So yeah, guys, basically that's just the update that I wanted to give you, show you what I've been doing, where I've been at. It's been like kind of like some challenging months the past months. I mean, it's been great for YouTube because some videos that I posted last year have been getting quite a bit of traction, but I've been really stressed out because we lost my grandmother at the beginning of January, and it's just been kind of like a weird time. So this year, another thing is I've decided to stay in Europe and not go to Asia on a trip because I just find that right now what I need to train, and since my main goal is getting to this finish line in Hamburg, I need stability. I need stability and I need no external pressures or stress that are not from training. So I decided to stay here in Italy and just really focus on just recovering, training, and just on this goal that I have. Is it a smart choice? I don't know, to be honest, but we'll see. The winter's been pretty brutal. I haven't been feeling great because it's just like cold. I really enjoy getting out in the morning as a first thing, as you guys know, but haven't been able to do that much. But hopefully now it's getting really warmer. Spring should be just around the corner, and I'm pretty stoked about getting more rides in, more runs in outside. And yeah, no Asia this year. Who knows? First thing to focus on is June 4th. I'm at Hamburg, and then after that, we will see. Maybe we'll go to Asia after that. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. I hope you found this video useful and to see where kind of like an IRONMAN build starts, what we're doing this year, getting help not from like a proper coach, but from like a training platform. Hopefully you guys might find some benefit in it too. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're chasing your goals. I hope you're training, getting after it, and you're all happy and doing great. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.